Masutatsu Oyama, also known as Mas Oyama, was a Zainichi Korean karate instructor who founded Kyokushin karate, which is regarded as the first and most important full-contact karate form. He lived from June 4, 1923, until April 26, 1994. Choi Young-ui, also known as Mas Oyama, was born in Kinti, Korea, during the Japanese Empire. He was transported to Manchukuo at a young age to live on his sister's farm. At the age of 9, Oyama started taking Chinese martial arts lessons from a Chinese farmer who worked on the property. Oyama claimed that he was his first teacher. Oyama traveled to Japan in March 1938, having followed his brother, who had joined the Yamanashi Aviation School of the Imperial Japanese Army, 10. During his stay in Japan, Choi Young-ui selected Masutatsu Oyama as his Japanese name. Oyama left the aviation school in 1945, following the end of the war. In Tokyo, he at last found a place to call home. It was here that he met Chiyako, his future wife, whose mother managed a residence for college students. Oyama began studying sports science at the Waseda University School of Education in 1946. In search of the finest training, he got in touch with Geigo Funakoshi, the third son of Shotokan founder and karate expert Gichin Funakoshi, who runs the Shotokan Dojo, Karate School. 11. He enrolled as a pupil and started a lifetime practice of karate. He exercised alone and stayed secluded in order to maintain his concentration. Subsequently, Oyama enrolled at Takashoku University in Tokyo and gained admission to Gichin Funakoshi's dojo, where he received 2 years of instruction. After that, Oyama spent a number of years studying Goju-ryu karate under Nei Chuso, a senior student of Chojun Miyagi, the system's creator and a fellow Korean from Oyama. Mas Oyama had his training at Kenbuken, a dojo established by prominent Kenken Toyama disciples and renowned for having a high percentage of Zainichi Korean membership, at some point between 1946 and 1950. Nei Chuso was also a trainee at Kenbuken, where he probably taught Oyama Goju-ryu. Karate practiced in Kenbuken with protective gear, Bogutsuki karate, allowed for full-force strikes, which may have impacted Oyama's full-contact fighting style. Sources claim that Oyama was not particularly interested in the sport of Bogutsuki karate. Oyama did, however, briefly consider donning safety gear. During this period, he also engaged in fights with U.S. military police throughout Tokyo. He said, "I attacked as many U.S. military personnel as I could after the war because I was furious, and eventually my picture was all over the police station." Oyama withdrew to a solitary mountain to train his body and mind. His goal was to live atop Mt. Minobu in Yamanashi Prefecture, Japan, for 3 years. Yashiro, one of his students, went with him, but one night, tired of the harshness of this remote training without any contemporary comforts, the student walked away and left Oyama by himself. In Tateyama, Chiba Prefecture, with only one friend who could visit once a month, the tough training and isolation grew unbearable. After spending 14 months on the mountain, Oyama came back to Tokyo with a much more powerful and skilled karateka. His sponsor had ended his support, so he felt pressure to leave his mountain refuge. He went into seclusion once more, this time on Mt. Kayasumi in Chiba Prefecture, where he trained for 18 months. This was after he had won the Japanese National Martial Arts Championship, and he was upset that he had not achieved his original goal of training in the mountains for 3 years. After establishing his own karate dojo in Tokyo in 1953 under the name Oyama Dojo, a variation of Goju-ryu, Oyama continued to tour Japan and other countries, performing martial arts demonstrations. One of his signature moves was using his bare hands to knock live bulls unconscious, occasionally grabbing them by the horn and snapping them off. His dojo was first outside in a vacant lot, however, in 1956, it was moved into a dance school. Soon after, Oyama's own curriculum gained a reputation for being harsh, fierce, hard-hitting, yet practical. In a ceremony in 1957, the style was finally titled Kyokushinkai, Japan Karate-do Kyokushinkai, which translates to the ultimate truth. Because of the demanding training sessions and the high rate of student injuries during practice fighting, Kyumite, he also earned a reputation for being rough with his pupils. 16. The hallmark of Kyokushin was not only the practice fighting that set Oyama's style apart from other karate schools but also the emphasis on shattering boards, tiles, or bricks to gauge an individual's attacking prowess. As the dojo gained recognition, more people from both inside and outside of Japan were drawn to practice there, increasing the total number of pupils. Oyama relocated the dojo into the structure that would eventually house the Kyokushin Home Dojo and global headquarters in 1964. International Karate Organization Kyokushin Kaikan was formally established by him in conjunction with this to coordinate the numerous schools that taught the Kyokushin style at the time. The first All-Japan Full-Contact Karate Open Championships were held in 1969, and since then, they have been held annually, taking Japan by storm. Tokyo hosted the first World Full-Contact Karate Open Championships in 1975. Since then, World Championships have taken place every 4 years. Oyama developed the Kyokushin Kaikan, an international karate organization established in Tokyo, into one of the most prominent martial arts organizations in the world, with branches in more than 100 countries and more than 12 million members. His colorful life was portrayed in feature-length films, comics chronicled his numerous exploits, and books were produced by and about him in Japan. On April 26, 1994, Oyama passed away in Tokyo, Japan, at the age of 70 from lung cancer.